In late 2010, two film students were tasked with making a movie. Little did they know, their fate had already been decided.
Matthew, it's never too late to create art.
My God, you're right.
I am right.
We're not too late, are we?
No. Actually, we have one left. Here you go.
That was a really nice lady.
She was fantastic and beautiful.
Yes. Wonder what genre we got?
Oh, documentary.
Who's Coty Myers?
Everyone knows who Coty is. That young, brave soul who disappeared shortly after college to seek his fame and fortune in war. But shortly thereafter disappeared and was never found again. All that we have left are a few scattered tales about what he did, but nobody really knows if any of it's true.
Jesus Christ, man. Where'd to find this guy? Lock and load.
And how.
And it was with that, our two filmmakers set out to do what no one before them had done. Dun dun dun. Why are we in the woods?
Everyone knows that the wilderness is the only place to find Coty.
Okay. Looks pretty. Think we got it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So where do you think Cody's staying?
Nobody really knows.
Oh God! Bang bang bang. And it was with that brief sighting that our heroes got their first glimpse of Coty Myers.
Punished me the other day. It was a fantastic novel.
Oh really?
I think
I'm illiterate. Please tell me.
Well, you see, when you look at the words, you can draw. Oh,
did you hear that?
Shit.
My God. Who are you?
Always know anything about life and death.
Nothing, sir.
Why did you come to find me?
Your legend, it has to be told. No one knows the story. Only tattered bits of what has been passed down through generations. But we can set the record straight. We can tell your story.
My story's not that interesting, but if that's what you come to find, I can tell you.
Then we'd be honored, sir.
When you need
Well, the assignment's due next week, so if we could get it done by Friday, it'd be fantastic.
This is Brad Clooney, filmmaker Brad Clooney, and I'll be filming the interview between George Pitt and the legend Coty Myers.
It'd be like inside.
If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Pitt, why have you all...
Actually, I'm Pitt. He's Clooney.
No.
I'd like to thank you all for your hospitality and kindness, but if you don't mind me asking, Mr. Pitt, why is it that you have brought me here? And I guess I'll take my hat off.
Well, it's your story, really, that we find most interesting about you, sir. It's one that's shrouded in mystery and needs some help getting cleared up. And we'd like you to be the one to set the record straight once and for all and give us the honor of helping be your voice.
I see. Let me start by asking you all, what is it that you've heard about my mysterious story?
Well, Coty, really all that we know is that you went to college after graduating high school and then overseas. What exactly were you doing overseas?
Those are some, I wouldn't say dark days, but days I don't often like to reflect on. You see, I was a journalism and film student in college, and upon graduating...
A noble profession, if you don't mind me interrupting.
I agree. After college, I decided to do freelance work as a journalist. I was signed on with AP and Reuters to follow the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. So for nearly 18 months, I freelanced for AP and Reuters as a film, very little film, mainly still photos. I was a photojournalist. I was a war correspondent.
Were you in the shit?
I was deep in the shit many times.
You said earlier you had spent some 18 months overseas recording the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes.
Truly, you must have seen some harrowing things. What exactly did you spend most of your time doing?
I was implanted with mainly American soldiers. I saw some grisly
Bears.
things. Grizzly bears. I saw some grisly things that most humans should never see. Personally, politically, my opinions don't matter, but the stories that needed to be told of our soldiers and of the indigenous people, I felt go unspoken and largely ignored, and we can no longer do that. That's why I went over there. Many of those stories were not.
So it was almost a personal endeavor that you felt upon yourself to go over there and do it.
Absolutely, yeah. I spent about my first 9 months or so, I was in Iraq. During the surge in Iraq, I was there for a lot of heavy action, and then the latter 9
Were you
months,
in Fallujah?
I was at the Second Battle of Fallujah.
Can you tell us about that specifically? What exactly were you doing during that horrendous turn of events?
When you...
Okay, so that was your tour of duty in Iraq, but there's also Afghanistan, which we've yet to talk about.
How ignored we have Afghanistan.
And it's that legend about you living in the woods that originally drew us to you.
That is a common misconception I've heard. People know nothing of me, really. They think I'm just some crazy wildebeest that lives alone in the woods. I actually don't live in the woods. I still live with my parents, and I just go to the woods.
Nothing wrong with that. A lot of students, children, once they graduate college, they're left without a lot of economic opportunities or any true use for their degree. So sometimes, unfortunately, they still find themselves living at home with their parents.
Yes, well, I go to the woods to escape from time to time when things just get too hectic for me.
Do your parents miss you going from the woods to your house like that so often?
I don't like disappear for days on end. I rarely ever even spend a night away from home. I'm in the woods occasionally, spend the night, but I just live at home and do work here and there.
I hear you're actually working on a novel. Would you care to go into the details of that? Or?
Well, actually, I am working on a novel.
I'm sorry.
I'm not making any money on that.
Okay, now about that novel. Care to go into any details on it?
Well, it's just a novel about my 18 months that I spent overseas, the untold stories that were not released in my correspondence. Just the stories of the indigenous people, of the American soldiers, some who didn't return to make it, their stories. But, you know, there's no money in an unfinished novel. So,
That's true. And speaking of works of literature, I'm actually working on a collection of short stories myself, mostly dealing with my musings on life and some of the more insightful revelations that have come to me through these years.
right. Well, to provide for myself these days, I still do freelance journalism, photos. I also recently made a calendar of the local area that were sold in local stores.
I made a calendar also. It was of cats wearing funny hats.
Sounds interesting.
It was perhaps the greatest work I've ever made in my life. Ever.
Soon, word of Coty's legends reached the mainstream. It wasn't long after that he got his own television show, helping others with their own afflictions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell from today's episode, there are many things in life that can get us down, things that keep us down, things that keep us behind. But remember this, no matter how life seems to be going for you, whether it be sad, lonely, or down, no matter how hard your life gets, just remember, you are harder. Skip and Coty Myers. Have a good day.
All right, Mike. Great show. Great show.
Thanks.
Great show.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
So how's things been going for you now?
Well, Mr. Pitt, Mr. Clooney.
Actually,
I know.
he's Clooney, I'm Pitt.
I know. I just said Mr. Pitt, Mr. Clooney. Things have been great. Your all's documentary really launched my career.
And we won the festival.
You all did win the festival. I heard that there's possible. I heard
Good
that
job,
there's
buddy.
a possible movie production for you all, that they might want to make this into a full-length motion picture.
No, actually, the studio laughed.
Well, actually the studios and us haven't been really getting along. They had some prick director, and he really just don't have the same vision as we do.
I understand, guys, but thanks so much. I'm glad my stories were told, and it's made it great. I'm helping people. I'm finally doing what I want.
Hey, my mate's going to the pub. You want to join us?
Boy, do I!